What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Continuing on with another subscriber requested course here in the Backyard Simulator. Today we are playing, this is actually, so I believe, I write down the notes, I believe that the subscriber by the name of AJ Beach 7046 recommended the Plains course, but as you can see by the title, we're playing Patty Jewett Golf Club in Colorado Springs, Colorado. There was 3 different courses, and there was 2 of them with Plains. So I'm assuming it's probably like a 27-hole complex. This particular course is called Peak to Plains. So considering he just said Plains, there was 2 different 18-hole courses with the Plains in them. So I'm planning on playing this one, which is again the Peak to Plains first, and then I just played one course before this. I'll probably, next time I come out here, I plan on playing the Plains to Prairie course. But as for today, like I said, Patty Jewett Golf Club in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Shout out to AJ Beach 7046. We're playing from, there was, first on the list for tee box options was black, and then there was 2 options that they're called burgundy tee boxes. One of them had a lower rating, and one of them, which is the one I selected, this is it's called the burgundy tee boxes. It had a higher slope and course rating than the black tee boxes. So recently you guys have heard me say Garmin seemingly switched something with how they set up their the order of their layouts. I wish they just did it by the overall tee box length. So before, I just would always select the first one on the list, which would be the furthest tee boxes, but it seems like maybe they've switched things around a little bit. So lately I've just been going by the highest course and slope ratings that I can find for the tee box options. But nevertheless, real quick for the rundown, Garmin Approach R10 behind me on a DIY level stand, Country Club Elite mat, Callaway Super Fast balls, DIY stance mat, 10x7 nets, and Home Tee Hero that you're seeing within the Garmin Golf app. So we're going to give this a go. Shout out again to AJ Beach for the request. Going to play this one and then the other one next time I come out, but we'll see. Came off a decent round. You guys will be seeing it first, so not exactly a spoiler alert, but I just played Sleepy Hollow Country Club and played halfway decent, so hopefully we can continue on with some halfway decent shots. Seems like we got a pretty narrow fairway with trees both left and right here to start it off, but let's see what we can do. As I mentioned, if you guys caught that other video, that was actually the second time I had to play the Sleepy Hollow, because yesterday I came out and my camera decided to turn off on like the 15th hole. So I am going to be going back and forth to check it. Not every single hole, but more frequently than I would, because I just don't want it to turn off again and have to spend the time and energy and talking to myself out here to be able to actually use the footage, versus if it gets corrupted or turns off, it's kind of a waste of time, and it's pretty frustrating for me. But I am going to be checking that, so maybe just a tad bit longer of a video today just because of that, but I'm going to try to got a lot of talking out of the way in the first one, so I'm going to try to somewhat be quiet and just hit shots here the best that I can. But par 5 to start it off. Here we go. That tee went through the net somehow. Not great. That was high on the face and towards the toe. It's not going to go very far, but looks like we're in play. Gonna have to grab that tee so I can keep using it. How that went through all those nets that are layered on top of each other back here, I have no idea. And I don't even necessarily see where that, oh, it's stuck in the trees. I could hit another 1,000 tee shots and probably not have that happen. Alright, interesting start. We're off though. Second shot into this par 5, we got 210 up 1. So I'm gonna try the 5-iron. This maybe end up being too much club. I really need to hit a bunch of 5-irons and really know how far this thing goes. I think realistically I need to play it closer to 215, 220. I used to play my old set, my old Rocket Blade set. These clubs are basically a club stronger, and I used to play my 4-iron to about 210, 215, 220. And this is what I would assume I would have to start playing the 5-2, but contact wise I've been kind of all over the place as of late, so we'll see. Yep. Pulled up on it, fell out of that. That was thin and up the right side. Not very good. Round I just played, I was hitting my 6-iron really well. May have to just start going towards that. That would have been the same distance anyways, but alright, not the end of the world for a par 5. We got 21 yards left, down 1, and we're in the rough, so 20, call it 22. Gonna go 60 degree. See if we can get this close inside the inner circle here. Should be decent. Gonna be maybe a yard left, but see if I got the number right. A little bit short. That did kind of climb up the club face and hit a little bit higher on the net than I would have liked, but we'll take the par to start it off. Like I mentioned, just gotta double check the camera, give me a good excuse to stay hydrated and drink some Gatorade over here while I'm doing it. Alright, we're off, folks. No turning back now, I guess, unless the camera turns off, but second hole, par 3, 165 up 3, so 168. Gonna go 8-iron and not necessarily choke down, just put a smooth swing on it, because usually I've been hitting this 8 to about 170, 175, so potentially going to be a little bit long towards the back side of the green, depending on how I hit this, but don't want to alter my shot too much if I don't have to. I'd rather just hit a kind of a regular stock shot versus trying to manipulate things if I don't have to. And I catch it heavy and left. That's going to have to go. Go, go, big bounce, and bounce right. Is it going to make us chip, or is it a +3? Alright, at least it gives us a chance to put it inside the inner circle and save par, hopefully. Sometimes out there towards the edge, it gives you an automatic +3, which I don't love. But we got a chance here. 15 yards, no slope, or somehow in the fairway, and no rough reduction. So right at 15 yards, which I like. Going 60 degree. Could use a good one here. Tad left, we'll see. It might be a little bit long. Yep. Alright, gonna drop a stroke there. It's gonna be a bogey. Third hole, par 4. Looks like a little bit narrow, but pretty straightforward. Nice and straight hole. 274 up there, down 2. The first round, towards the end of it, I started to open up my club face just a little bit more at address, and it seemed to be working out. Let's see if that can kind of continue and I can get a hold of a couple here. It'd be pretty nice. Not bad. A little bit low on the face towards the toe. That's going to overcook a little bit left, but for a low launch driver swing, should be decent. It always seems like 281 out of that with the rollout. It always seems like you go through a stretch of you hit particular club, say driver, really well for a while, and you don't really think about a whole lot of what you're doing just because you're swinging it well. And then it seems like you go into a little bit of a slump, or at least for me, and then kind of experiment, try a few different things, and then one little thing, just literally opening the club face a fraction of an inch, one little thing seems to click and it works, and then you're back for a week or two until something else you got to tweak again. But it's kind of the way golf is, I guess. I really do. I've said it before, but I really love that saying. I'm paraphrasing, but from that Full Swing documentary on Netflix, Brooks Koepka, I don't even know if he is quoting someone else, but basically the notion was golf is one of those sports where you have the confidence and you're playing well, you think you're never going to lose it, and when you're not playing well and you don't have the confidence, you think you're never going to get it back again. And I can fully relate to that. And even if it's not those full extreme swings on the ends of the spectrum, even just somewhere in between when you're kind of flip-flopping, seesawing back and forth, you can kind of feel those different ranges of emotion there. But That's why we love and hate it. 93 yards left, down 1, so 92. I'm gonna go choke down 48. We'll see if I can get this number right. Caught it a tad heavy. I choked down pretty far on that because I've been coming up long with these clubs. And even that, even that's still long. Man. I have been making more of an effort to swing more out to the right and get back more to playing the best that I can consistently and draw and trusting. It's a lot easier to trust it here because I can just aim for the right side of the net versus on course it gets a little more daunting when you naturally tend to fade and or slice the ball, and you basically need to aim up the right side, and you know if you happen to slice it, you're not only aiming right, but it's going to keep going further right. But I do think part of that is because of my swing path getting slightly corrected, that I'm getting a little more distance out of it. But 1 over through 3, 4th hole, par 5, 448. Don't love that tree there, but we should be able to get up and over that. High on the face, towards the toe. Not going to go very far. It's only going to be about 250-ish. Yeah, 253. And I'll let you guys know, when I say high and low on the face, it is actually hitting the face, but if I end up putting another dummy idiot mark, sky mark, whatever you want to call it on the driver, that's super high on the face. That's on the crown. And I'll let you guys know, but high on the face, low on the face, it is actually the driver face, not off the crown. You guys remember my old driver that I was using when I went back and I purchased last summer when I was using that 2012, the white Rocket Balls driver. There was a period where I was trying to fix my attack angle and I was popping them up. There was multiple shots where I was hitting so far underneath the ball, the driver was popping it up and the ball was going 100 yards into the air over the net. That's high on the face. That's off the crown. But just for a little comparison perspective. But here we go, 195 left to this hole. It's aimed us over to the left, probably because of these trees, so I'm probably going to leave it there and see if I can, we'll see if I can hit it straight. I just don't want to overcook it left. I'm not good enough to shape the ball left and right on command like this, but I can at least try to not overcook it left. But we've got 195 up 1, so 196 plus we'll call it another 19 and a half, 20 yards. So that puts us at 205, 215. So I'm going to go 5 iron. Luckily, I tend to have a harder time closing the club face and turning the ball over with the longer iron. So this does have a tendency to fade anyways, which could work out as long as we make some decent contact with it. Nope. That's heavy, low, and left. Get over the bunker. Alright. All in all, pretty horrendous strike, but for that whole layout, we kind of got it to work. It was kind of just of a unintentional layup shot. 37 yards left in the rough, so about another 3-4 yards. We need about 40-41. We'll go 52. That 40-yard mark, usually 25-30, I play my 56 degree. 35, probably closer to 56, and then anything over 35 to 40, it's kind of an in-between number, and then 45 to about 55, I play my 52. But That's going to be too much, I think. That might be long left. That's closer to 50, I think. Or not. See, I don't know. I don't know. That one it felt like. Generally, I've been coming up long. I tried to swing easy, and that one felt like I put too much on and it came up short. Other ones, I feel like I don't hit it very hard and they come up long. Most likely me. Possibly a little bit of misreads going on here with some of these touch shots, but it is what it is. We're still one over. We'll take it. Fifth hole, par 4, 371 yards. Gonna aim right up there, right side, hopefully turn one over. That was hit harder, but I released the club too much. That's going to be kind of low and left. Should be in play, but I guess compared to a slice, overcooking it left and releasing the club too early, I guess is a welcomed miss if I'm going to miss, but alright, 107, down 1, and we need another 10, 11 yards, so 116-ish. Gonna go 48. Basically gonna be about a three-quarter-ish type shot with this club. Struck it good as long as it's not too much. Oh. Hit that decent too. Looks like I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna give it a second. Might as well double check the camera just in case. Occasionally, most of the time it's just a no read and I have to hit it again, but occasionally it lags a little bit and it picks it up like a couple seconds later. Doesn't seem to be the case this time, so I gotta do it again, but alright, take 2. I caught that a little bit thinner and further left. We'll see. That also might need to get down a little bit. Alright. Got it to work. First strike was better, but no bloodshed, no harm, no foul with par. 6th hole, par 3. 150 up 7, so 157 should be a good 9-iron number. Usually hit it to about 155, so probably come up closer towards the front of the green here, unless I catch one a tad thin or whatnot, but should be a decent number if I just make solid contact with the 9 here. Heavy and left. I think some fatigue starting to creep in here, folks. Consistency starting to go down. That's gonna have to get lucky. Thought we had a chance there for that to bounce up onto the green, but realistically I deserve a +3 for a bogey out there based on that strike. That was pretty heavy and pretty left. Alright, see if we can turn things around here a little bit. Grab some Gatorade. Oh. I mentioned it before, but there's a little like bench kind of thing that I bring out a plastic bag full of all my cases and equipment, like the Garmin case, the balls, papers, tees, all that kind of stuff, charging cables, and I put my water bottles over there, my Gatorade next to it, and it's in the sun. And at this point, it is nice out, but it's starting to heat up and it's starting to get rather warm Gatorade. Alright, 2 over, 7th hole. Let's see if we can get a couple birds here. Still got the whole back 9, but gonna aim up that right side. that was half off the crown. Luckily it didn't leave a mark, but that was really, really high on the face. That's not going to go anywhere. Luckily that was like 3/4 of the ball on the actual driver face and like a fraction of it on the crown of the driver. Didn't leave a mark like I said, but that was close. That was not very good. 184 left, up 5, plus we're in the rough, so that puts us at 189 plus another, call it 18, so 199, 203-ish. Gonna go 6 iron. Everyone say it with me. Heavy and left. I think I'm playing everything. I keep going back and forth. I generally, when I first started playing, I was playing everything towards my front foot. Everything was way too far forward. Recently, I've kind of corrected that a little bit, and now I keep going back and forth between, I end up getting, ball starts creeping too far forward, I start popping them up, hitting them high, kind of higher, weaker slices to the right. I finally notice it, I correct it, bring it back, and then now I'm in a period where I'm almost too far back and I'm catching everything heavy and pulling them left, so I gotta scoot the ball up just a little bit more towards maybe my front heel. At least that's my guess of what's going on. Alright, let's see if we can put this close. 37 yards up 1, so 38. We'll try the 56. Gonna be a yard or two left. Kind of popped it up. That's gonna have to go. So frustrating. That makes you, I don't know what's going on with that. I think that was a double bogey. Luckily that warning message popped up and it prevented me from really getting angry from seeing that score, but that was a +3 out there. That was just a horrendous wedge shot from a 56. That's so bad. The amount of shots out here that I take, I should be like 75% of the time in the inner circle or right around it. Like there was no excuse there to be, I know it was only one shot, but there's no excuse there to be 15 yards short, 10 yards short, whatever that was from a 56-degree shot. 8th hole, par 4, that puts us to 4 over now. Now we're really going to start clawing some back and hopefully play the driver a little farther forward too and find the actual driver face. 409 yards, dogleg right. We're going to aim right there, down 7 yards. Hopefully make some contact with this, maybe take out a little frustration. That was hit harder, but it was kind of a line drive up the right side. Curious what my club speed was on that. Not a very good result, not a very good strike, but 104, 145. Still believe that's low. Club path, that one I came across it to the left. It says I hit down 2 on it. I was talking about that a little bit in the first round that I just played at Sleepy Hollow. I have to believe that, considering I have to play at 5,300 feet of altitude, something's reading low, and I would assume it's, I mean the club speed is kind of irrelevant, but the ball speeds I would assume are a little bit on the low side. 141, somehow we're in play there. 141 and we're in the rough, so we need another 14 on top of this, so 151, 155 should be a decent 9 iron. Now let's hit a little bit better. It's going to be on the left side, but that should be there. Ooh, take that. Is that a bird? Did we get one back? Alright. Fortunately, we had a double bogey, so we gave 2 away, but at least we got 1 back there. 9th hole, par 4. We got water all over the place. I don't love this. 265, at least it's down 10 yards, so we can hit one 255 and it'll still land there. We'll leave it, I guess, right there. Yeah, right there. Need a good one here. Don't necessarily need one super straight, but we just need one that's out there. We need something that's going to carry at least 250 here. Up the right side again. It's basically the same thing as the other one. Go. Now sit. Was shutting the club face too much before. Now I'm leaving it open. Partly because I'm not releasing it as much, partly also because now I'm playing it a little further forward. So generally speaking, from what I understand, both driver and irons, the further you play the ball forward, the more your club path naturally wants to go from out to in, and more of a fade bias if you're playing it forward, and then vice versa if you're playing it towards the middle and towards the back. The further you move it back, the more you kind of come down on the ball, and it promotes more of a into out type swing. When you look at, you see videos of people, they show your swing arc and your club path. Generally speaking, you boil it down, you move the ball further up, you play more of a fade. You move the ball further back, you play more of a draw. Not always, but tendencies, generally that's what you get. 104 left, up 2, and then 10%, so basically 10 yards. So we need 116, I'm gonna go 48. Another one of these 75-ish percent, 48 degrees. Struck it decent. Gonna turn over a little bit left. Landed it pretty close to the number. Ended up being a little bit long, but we'll take that. Par for the 9th hole. All right. 3 over through 9, onto the back 9. Oh boy. 10th hole, par 4, 337 yards. It's telling us to hit it only 210. Why? I guess probably because they do it based on the closest fairway. And considering that 300 yards, it knows I can't do that. But doesn't mean we can't hit it in the rough up here. So I'm aiming right there. And again, we need seemingly about 250 carry to get it up and over that water, which hopefully we can do and get closer to 270, 280 if I can square up the club face and release it. Low launch, but that should be at least 260, I would think. Alright, take that. Seemed like we cut it kind of close there with the carry. That was a lower launch on it, but we did get it over that water, which is good. Second shot here into this green, we got 65, up 1, plus another 6 or 7. So that puts us at 66 plus 7 would be 73. 52 degree. And let's see if I can get back to playing consistently a 75-yard shot here with this club. Nope. Sit. Sit. Land soft. Is that gonna be a plus? I think it's a +3. Yep. So frustrating, those wedges. So frustrating. Try to choke down on it, try to swing light, and I would say like 75% of the time lately, we're coming up long on like relatively easy, straightforward shots. Back to 4 over, 11th hole, par 3, 193 up 2, so 195, kind of an in-between, 7 and 6. I guess we'll go 6. 7, usually play it to about 190. 6 iron, usually play it to about 205, so kind of right in between there. Gonna go 6, and if I catch it heavy, could end up working to our benefit. Struck it good, but left it out to the right. "21 yards left." I think we're clear of these trees. Yeah, we're in front of them. All right, 21 yards, no slope, but we're in the rough, so we need another, call it 2 yards, so 23. I'm gonna go, considering I've been hitting everything long with my wedges, I'm gonna go 60 degree. And we'll see. When I catch that heavy, that's gonna be, it'll be on the green, but that's gonna be a little bit short. We're right next to the pin. I don't know, I think part of this could be slightly, Garmin's been struggling maybe a little bit with some of these slower swing speed, delicate shots. It feels like, for whatever reason, I catch it heavy and it comes up long, I hit it light, or I feel like, whatever it feels like the results are almost the opposite of what I've been doing. It feels like I try to swing really light and it comes up long. When I catch it heavy, it still seems like it comes up long, and then sometimes I put a decent swing on and it comes up short. I don't really know, but gotta play with what we got here. 12th hole, par 4, still 4 over, 363 yards, 265 right there. Got those trees sticking out here. I guess we're gonna go there. Decent chance we catch these trees, but we'll see. Hopefully we start it right on this line and turn it back over left. And for all of you out there that are screaming at your phone, computer, TV screen, or shaking your head saying it's not the R10, it's me, you're definitely probably right. It is most likely like at least 75% me, and I'm just not hitting it great and hitting it too much or hitting it too fat or too short or whatever. But I do think there are some of these times where there are a little bit of a misread, but that's saying it's not the it's the Indian, not the arrow. It's the cowboy, not the horse, or whatever those sayings are. Left it out to the right. Probably right into those trees that we were talking about. Oh, we got it through them, kind of. All right. Fatigue's definitely starting to creep in. Losing some concentration, losing some consistency. Gonna try to right the ship a little bit here and see if we can get a decent end to this. Just tough. I'm not hitting them great off the tee. Kind of put myself behind the 8 ball, and we're scrambling to try to scrape out a par after a not so great tee shot like this one. We got these trees to contend with. We got 110 up 5, and we're in the rough, so 115 plus another 11, 126. Gonna go full 48, and we'll see what happens with that tree. sculled it. Wow. That is super generous. That makes up for any of the other misreads. That was a rocket. I hit that really thin. I didn't quite catch if that caught the tree and maybe took some steam off it, but I caught that really, really thin. Sometimes it ends up you get lucky on course. It's one of those ones where you hit it really low and thin and it somehow goes the right distance and it kind of runs up. That one felt like it was going to be 20 yards long and it somehow was close. So probably a misread to our benefit on that one. So again, I always say, usually, generally speaking, I've found that things kind of even itself out back here. You get some fortunate misreads, you get some unfortunate misreads. 13th hole, par 5, still 4 over. 460, got to aim right there, down 9 yards. Even with the shorter 3-wood shaft, my driver strikes are just all over the place. Just struggling to square it up. Not that bad because most of that, because the reason we're in the fairway and we got 260 out of it is probably because of that shorter length shaft, but just consistency, I just can't seem to dial it in and do it somewhat repeatably, which is frustrating. 235, could have used a little bit more distance. We could have got ourselves around the corner a little bit more, but who knows what's going to happen here with these trees. This is probably a pretty dumb shot, realistically. 235 down 3, and it's really an in-between number 2, so I'm just going to blast 4 hybrid. At this point I'm getting a little bit frustrated, so we'll see. Usually play this, I think my swing speed's dropping a little bit now after already playing 18 before, but usually play this to about 240, 245, 235 right there, down 3, so we only need 232 out of it. We'll see. Hopefully I can get this launched high enough up in the air to get it over those trees. I'm going to open the face just a tad and play it a little bit further forward. See if that does the trick here. Struck it pretty good. It's going to fade a little bit. We'll see. I got it to work out, but I left it out to the right. All in all, that's actually not too bad. Kind of surprised we got it through there. Alright, 18 yards. We're in the rough, so we'll call it another 2. So we need 20, 60 degree. Chipping would be nice. Literally haven't had a chip in probably like 2 months back here just because my wedge has been so bad. That might be long left, not off the back of the green, but that's going to be, well, it landed soft. That was a little bit towards the back left side of that inner circle. That one came out a little bit hot. Birdie, probably honestly a little bit generous. That probably should have been outside of the inner circle, longer and a little bit more left, but that's what Garmin read it as, that's what it read it as. 14th hole, par 3. That brings us back down to 3 over, luckily. See if we can get a couple more of those. 187 down 3, so we're at 184. Kind of another in-between number. Closer to a 7 than it is an 8, so that's what we're going to go with. Thin and left, low on the face. Wow. I mean, maybe these irons are pretty forgiving, but it feels like maybe I'm just getting a little too sensitive of where exactly they're coming out and how they feel on the net. But I find it hard to believe that one was that close to the center of the green on that kind of strike. That one again I think was probably on the generous side, but I don't know. Maybe Garmin's being nice to me today. Other days I come out and it feels like I get punished on almost every single hole. So 15th hole, par 4, 346 yards. Guess we'll leave it there. Again, I've said it a million times, it's a budget launch monitor. For what it is and how much it costs, it does a great job. But compared to some of the other higher end launch monitors, granted you can't even compare them because it's $600 versus even like $5,000, $2,500, or even you get up towards the GC Quads and the TrackMan at $30,000 or whatnot. But the only thing that I wish it was just a little less of a guessing game almost, and just not as much faith in the numbers of what actually happened, because you second guess yourself of like that, for example, that 7-iron shot, you second guess yourself like, if that did not feel good, it didn't feel like good contact, I feel like it came out low, I hit it thin and it came out left, but it ended up pretty close to the middle of the green. Is that actually what happened, or is that just a really generous reading and that was definitely not the case or even close to the case? And then vice versa, when you hit it really good and something goes a little bit awry, you wonder, all right, did that actually happen? You kind of second guess yourself, both good and bad. But generally speaking, I've said it a million times, the side spin is down here on the R10. So realistically, if you hit one and you slice it 10 yards right here on the R10, it's probably closer to 20 yards right in real life. Not terrible. It's gonna be up the left side. Probably about 260-ish maybe. 255. $90 yards, up 2. So we're gonna go 48. Swung easier on that, and I choked down pretty far because I've been leaving things long. We'll see what we get out of that. All right, happy with that. A little bit better. I just wish, I feel like I can hit the shots. It's just knowing exactly how hard to hit them and if I can do it repeatably. Like, I know I can do it. It's just I would like to have some sort of certainty of walking up to that shot, of knowing to a degree like I used to be able to with my 52 and whatnot, with my 50-yard shot and 75-yard shot. I knew pretty much exactly how far to choke down and almost exactly how hard to hit it, and I could do it somewhat repeatably. These ones is just kind of like I walk up and I'm like unsure, uncertain, kind of a guess, and hoping that I got it right. And for something like that, it felt good that I got it right, but it's still not as like, all right, I knew I was going to do it, I was trying to do that, and it actually happened. It was more like I was kind of trying to do that and didn't really know what happened, and it ended up working out good. I don't know, it almost feels more of a luck than skill thing. But 16th hole, par 5, 506 yards, 2 over. Again, probably being a little harder on myself. We've gotten lucky on some of these, but 2 over for a course like this, not the worst thing in the world for not having our best stuff right now. Definitely played better in that first round, getting a little tired and losing concentration, losing some confidence, etc. A little bit better there. I tried to remember to complete my follow through, make a full turn out of that. That should be a little bit better. And it didn't read. All right. That was an unfortunate misread there. That was actually a decent swing. Gonna give it an extra second, grab some Gatorade, check the camera, see if it registers late. Probably have to do that again, and I'll probably hit a bad one, my luck, but left that one out to the right. And like I was talking about, that one definitely, not significantly worse, but that was definitely a worse swing, worse strike, worse result. And we ended up having to play that one because we got a misread or a no read on the first one. But considering we've gotten, in my opinion, pretty lucky on some other ones, we probably still have more luck in our side on this round compared to bad luck. But another one or two of those type of shots that either it doesn't read exactly correctly or doesn't read at all in a good swing, kind of evens itself out like I was talking about. But 249 yards left. We got a long way home into this par 5. Down 2 and then 10%. So 247, no shot I get it there, but we're gonna go 4 hybrid. I was talking about this in my last round. Basically, went through a stretch of hitting my, and because we're laying up, I'm going 4 hybrid. I'm gonna aim a little bit out here. Hopefully we don't mess with this tree on the right side. Basically, I guess there. Basically, I went through a stretch of hitting my 3-wood really well. That kind of ended for the time being, and because of that I've been kind of shying away from it, and I kind of look at that club now as a little bit of like a 50-50 club, sometimes even worse than that, but basically meaning 50% of the time I hit it really well and I hit it like 250 to 270 what I'm trying to do, but then the other 50% of the time it's just like, it's really bad. It's like a 50 to 100 yard like top, which I don't know, it's kind of a gamble club. If you don't have a whole lot to lose, you don't have a great score going, you can just kind of go for one and rip it. I use it a lot when I play scrambles. If someone puts something out there safe and I can just kind of take a gamble 50-50 club and rip one up there. But for something like this, it's probably definitely a smarter percentage-wise play to hit something a little bit easier, take a little bit off of it, and just get something up there and in play. 240, even 230 versus trying to hit something 250, 260. Like that. That should be pretty good as long as we don't catch that tree. Yep. So, yeah, 209. What did I say? We needed like an extra 20 yards on that or whatever. So that was about 230-ish. Swinging a little bit slower now. Usually it would be closer to 240, 245-ish, but we'll take that all day long. 230 off the deck. 41, down 1, so 40. I'm gonna go 52. Keep going back and forth, that's part of my problem too. I should really just stick with, maybe narrow down my wedges and until I start hitting it better with more consistency, only use maybe 1 or 2 wedges versus like I have technically 5. I have a pitching wedge, a 48, a 52, a 56, and a 60 that I'll kind of bounce around on. It's gonna be left, might be a little bit too much too. Yeah, on the green, we gave it a shot. Not the worst thing in the world, but knew as soon as I hit that it was gonna be a little bit long. Par though. Kind of an introspective 2 rounds. I've been kind of thinking and talking out loud a lot, but I do think part of it too is last season, if I was 2 over at this point playing like this, I would probably be really, really happy. I think part of it is and I'm probably not the only one here, as we improve, it's not, you don't just, obviously like anything else in life, you don't just improve in a straight line forward. There's peaks and valleys, but you gradually, as you play, you keep just slowly working your way up and up, kind of climbing up the mountain with the peaks and valleys. But a lot of times, at least for me, it's tougher to see my own progress versus like someone else. If I haven't played with someone in like 6 months, maybe they would notice it a little bit more because they're just obviously not living it every single day. But all that to say, I think sometimes if you take a step back and you just think, how would I feel if I was a year ago or 2 years ago and I had this type of score and I was hitting it this way, you'd probably be really, really happy, which kind of puts things into perspective to maybe be a little more not so down on myself and poopy pants on some of these shots and results, but 407, that's kind of what you get though for having high expectations of yourself. Usually you can play good, but you want to play better no matter what. So 276 right there. We're gonna aim up there. We're 2 over. See if we can get a bird on these last 2 holes. A little bit lower on the face, towards the heel, up the left side. Oh! As I trip on the net. 260. All right, 147. Gonna go choke down 9. Not as much choke down as I did the first round and as I did at the beginning of this round, only because I'm swinging it a little bit slower now. I can feel fatigue and consistency and whatnot, so not going to choke down quite as much. I could probably hit, honestly, a pretty close. If I usually play my 9-iron to about 155, a full swing right now is probably going a little bit closer to 150. So still don't need quite that much, but I don't need to choke down, I don't think, quite as far. Thin and left. $15 yards. Call it another 1 or 2. 16, 17 yards. That should be decent. Maybe closer to like 13. Go in. Let's go. Let's go. Needed that. That feels good. I was going to say before that went in, I think part of the expectations is not just like unfounded, basically nothing to back it up, high expectations, not just like unrealistic high expectations. A lot of the expectations come from all the amount of time, effort, money, all the holes I've played on course in real life, all the time I've spent back here practicing, playing all these holes. It feels like I should be able to hit shots that I want to hit, and sometimes when I'm not able to do it, it almost makes it worse that I've spent so much time trying to improve and practice and I still can't do it. I think that's where some of the frustration comes in and the expectations, but I don't know. Let me know if any of this makes any sense to you guys. Again, I probably could come out here with some headphones and talk pretty sparingly, but if I'm out here, I kind of just talk to you guys about whoever's maybe watching, kind of just speak my mind, and as thoughts come across my mind, I'd kind of just say them out loud to occupy myself while I'm playing out here. But this has probably been on the longer side again, so let's finish this off. 18th hole, par 4, 1 over after that chip in. Pretty good so far score-wise without playing our best stuff, but 429 yards, pretty straightforward shot. We got water up there after, so let's see if we can make some solid contact. Good, controlled, smooth backswing with a full follow-through and turn. Let's hit something about 275 up there. Not horrendous, a little bit low on the face, started up the right side. That may be, we might get 270 out of it, I don't know. Oh, not if we go in the bunker. 265. Oh, and we blocked ourselves out too. Alright, don't love this branch over here, and we got to get up and over this water, which makes this a little bit challenging, but hopefully we've got 165 up 2, so 167. I'm going to go 8-iron, and I'm going to open the face up just a tad, and I'm going to play it a little bit further forward. So I'm hoping, because it's an 8-iron type of loft, we can get it started up and over this tree that's hanging out here. and hopefully I'm going to aim a little bit left just because, again, open up the face, play it a little further forward. It's going to promote more of a fade. Let's see what we can do here. Or just chunk it left. That might go in the water. Wow, we got lucky on that. That's the type of swing that makes you want to snap your 8-iron over your knee. Alright, maybe we can chip it in again. 38 yards, up 2, plus we'll call it another 4. So 44, gonna go 52 degree. Hopefully put this relatively close and get out of here with a halfway decent score. Well, that's fitting for this round. No read, hit it decent. Ball bounced off the brick into these pricker bushes over here. Luckily it didn't settle down and I didn't lose it. I think I still have like 3 balls buried in those leaves over there. Looks like we're gonna have to do it again, so let's see. What was the number we needed? 44? And I hit it thin. I may get lucky, but that was pretty poor. Alright, at least we're on. On the bright side, I do think I've figured out, at least for the time being, my alignment issue. I'm not pulling my wedges as far left as I was for the past like month or two. Seemed like everything before that I was aiming straighter. I think, again, wedges are usually somewhat of my strong suit on course, so I kind of just tried to play exactly how I would on course. I would have a pretty open stance, kind of come across it, put some spin on the ball a little bit for my on-course shots, but it seemed like doing that back here, for whatever reason lately, was hitting them too high and I was pulling everything left. So it seems like as of late I've been shutting down my stance a little bit, aiming a little further right, and at least we've been hitting them a little straighter. That was pretty poor contact on that, but that is a one benefit or a positive that's been going on as of late. But as for this course from Patty Jewett Golf Club, this was, again, as you can see at the top, the Peak to Plains course. I plan on playing the second one either probably not tomorrow, maybe the next day or the day after, but next time I come out here I'll play the other one. But we ended up with a 2 over 74, so shout out to AJ Beach 7046 for the request. I appreciate any and all requests that you guys send. So 39 on the front and then 35 somehow on the back. Obviously that chip in helped a lot, but scorecard's a little bit all over the place. 7th hole wasn't the best. Only 6 out of 14 fairways hit. Want to be at least 7 there, so not great. Greens and regulation, somehow we hit 13 out of 18. So actually that's actually a decent metric there. And then 33 putts, so just under 2 putts a hole. So not too bad. Kind of an average round, but to be, again, kind of what I was talking about, if I go and look back where I was last year, even the year before, you guys get the idea. But to be 2 over on a round that I feel like I didn't necessarily play that great, shows that I am improving, maybe not as much as I want to be, maybe still have some poor shots here and there that I wish I didn't hit, but all in all, not too bad. So let me know what you guys think. Did a lot of talking on this round and the last one. Hopefully that camera's still going, and hopefully I'll be able to actually use this stuff and everything saves and records correctly. But for anyone out there, similar to what AJ Beach did, you want to see me play a course of your choosing, just give me the name of the course and location down in the comments. I search it here within Home T Hero. I respond to you just to double check and confirm that I am able to play it, and then preferably some of the other people like Graylam did it last time. Preferably, if you guys can, give me a little bit of background information. So give me the name of the course and location, and then just why you want me to play it. Whether it's your home course that you play all the time, whether it's a course that you heard of and it's a world famous course, whether it's a course you played back in the day, your hometown, you grew up playing it, whatever the case may be. Just let me know. Makes it a little more interesting, not only for me, but for other people watching it. I write down the notes and can relay it. So that's what I have. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you didn't get too frustrated with some of my kind of, not, I wouldn't say depressing, but maybe just a little bit down in the dumps type of reactions to some of the swings here. But we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep improving. Golf is a game of ups and downs. Still feel like I'm not necessarily playing my best, but hopefully some good golf is right around the corner. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next course.